So high stakes night tonight, Joe.
Yep, high stakes night. It's Kamala Harris's night to define herself. You look at the polls that we showed earlier. I don't know, Alex, if we can get those polls up, but you look at the polls that we showed earlier, and it shows a very tight race. And you look at states like Florida, the map has expanded dramatically. And I'm not just saying that because of these morning consult polls that just came out. You can look at Florida. It's been within 5 points in a lot of different polls. Nevada tied, North Carolina tied, Georgia tied, and Pennsylvania, Harris ahead, Wisconsin, Harris ahead. So you go through all these states, Sam, and in Joe Biden's final few weeks, everybody kept saying the same thing in both campaigns. He had one pathway to 270, and that was through Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. You look at these polls, you look at the CBS polls this weekend where we're looking at individual states. They're all up for grabs. They're all tied. And in most polls over the past couple of weeks, except for the New York Times Siena poll, which, again, the psychiatrists up and down Fifth Avenue in New York City are very grateful because every time it comes out, their business goes way up in Manhattan. But every other poll that's come out, most of the state polls show it's a tie with advantage leaning towards Harris.
I got to be honest, the New York Times Siena poll, I did not understand the collective freak out among Democrats. It was a one-point race in that poll.
It's
every poll we see is a tie.
Right.
What's interesting about these polls is that the tie also extends to the swing states, and that was not always the case. Now, you might not, these polls, who knows, right? Like the methodology might change, whatever. But if there are ties collectively across 6 or 7 swing states, to your point, it opens up a lot of different pathways that simply were not there for Joe Biden. Does it mean that she can win? No. I mean, you have to see where the race breaks. I will say there is some data that is not in these polls that I think is worth noting, which is we have access at the Bulwark to all these focus groups, and this is supplemented in the polls about undecided voters. And mostly to a person, these undecided voters are saying 2 things about the candidates. One is they largely are kind of sick of Trump. They just don't want to do it again. Right. They know who he is. He's a known quantity. They don't want to vote for him, but they are staying undecided because they have not heard enough from her, which is ironic because she's a sitting vice president. She's been on the scene for about 5 years now, but they just don't know enough from her. To me, that suggests there's a real opportunity for her tonight in this debate to reach that audience, and that her ceiling is ultimately higher than Trump's ceiling. We know where Trump's going to be. 48% is probably his ceiling. She can get beyond that. It's just a question of can she communicate tonight and can she follow through in the post-debate strategy? Well,
and that is the key. I mean, again, Donald Trump could go above his 47.5%, 48% ceiling. He hasn't done it since 2016. Maybe he'll do it this year, but usually past his prologue in politics. So right now, Kamala Harris just has to convince the other 2%, 3% that she's a safe bet, that she is the change. They don't have to go with this guy that Americans are exhausted by. They can move in a new direction. So how does she do that tonight?
Well, I guess part of the reason for the extra Xanax prescriptions is that August had been such an extraordinary month, right? And she had moved so quickly from being Joe Biden significantly behind in the polls, including the swing state polls, to now playing even. And it looks like we're sort of stuck at the moment on even. And a bunch of polls have suggested that over the last week or so. And that's why Democrats have started to get nervous, because they were used to the momentum, and the momentum may have stalled. But I think tonight is a very important moment. And then it's a question of, for the next however many weeks, what do we have, 6 more weeks, 7 more weeks, of non-stop appearances. She's got to keep on making that stale and getting out there as much as possible, whether that's rallies, whether that's more interviews, whatever it is, whether it's more town halls, things that get attention and give her the opportunity to tell the story in the way that she wants to start. Because there's some indication in some of these polls. I mean, it's interesting, this change poll number that came out in the New York Times Siena poll, it's different from the Fox poll a week ago, which suggested she is seen as changed.
That poll was different from every other poll. It just really, and it always is.
But that might be somewhere where she has to make a decision now. How far does she distance herself from Joe Biden and the policies of the Biden administration and stake herself out as somebody new? If this is an environment in which people are looking for somebody new, how can she cast herself as that new person?
Yeah, Willie.
So, Claire, you're going on your way to Philadelphia, short time from now, site of the debate tonight, 9 o'clock, 90 minutes. This is an important moment for both of these candidates, it goes without saying, but particularly for Vice President Harris, who's done one joint interview since all the hoopla and the energy we all saw at the DNC in Chicago. This will be the first time she ever meets Donald Trump, obviously first time they're on a stage together. What will you be looking for?
Well, she's got a hard job, and I'm a little nervous that the expectations for her are so high and the expectations for him are so low. Typically, these things don't come out really lopsided, although the last one kind of did. Yeah. And so I think all of us are nervous because of that, maybe. Listen, she's got to do really three important things. She's got to be strong. She's got to show real strength so we can vanquish this idea that she's not tough enough to stand up to Trump's boyfriends, Putin and Xi and all the ones that he's so in love with. Second, she's got to be nice and give people a sense of lightness and joy and hope and optimism and feeling really good about the United States of America. The third thing she's got to do, and this is the hardest, is she's got to be the new kid on the block. She's got to figure out a way. And by the way, she's got an advantage here, Willie, because people understand fundamentally that vice presidents don't make policy. The reason America doesn't know her is because she was a vice president. It's a diminishing role. No, everybody understands you're not in charge. You are a supporting character when you're a vice president. She's got to be the leading character tonight, and she's got to not distance herself from a man that we all respect and know has done an amazing job. But she's got to establish herself as the new kid on the block, that she is the change, that all of these disengaged voters, these swing voters that will decide this election, that they then see her as the change they're looking for.
And that is, Mike, we heard it in the campaign and at the convention and coming out of it, that is the message, that she is a turning of the page. She says, we're not going back. Remember what it was like under Donald Trump? Let's move forward. That's her message. And I think what Democrats are expecting tonight is that those hanging curveballs from the last debate on immigration, on democracy, and all those other things that Joe Biden let go past, that she will smack those out of the park.
Well, we'll find out tonight, but Claire's exactly right. I mean, this nation, and thank you to Sam Stein for pointing out, we got to calm down about these polls, the closest of these polls.
Don't praise Sam. Don't do that.
I want to. I very rarely do it, but I want to.
About time. Thank you, Mike.
But it's extraordinarily close. It's going to remain close for a while. Tonight is her introduction to the country, I would think, Kamala Harris. She has to prove that she can be commander-in-chief. She has to be nice, as you pointed out. But she also has to do something that Donald Trump is incapable of ever doing. Prove that she knows how people live. Prove that she knows how people shop at grocery stores. Prove that she knows that people's lives are up and down. And prove that she knows what a lot of people know. They're exhausted by Donald Trump and really don't want to vote for him. She's got to provide that alternative. Tonight is a good start to do it.
So certainly, as the polls do suggest, Americans, Claire, do want to learn more about her, and that's going to be key tonight, filling in those gaps. But how does she go on the attack? How does she press the offensive against Trump, something that President Biden in recent months, and particularly at that Atlanta debate stage, wasn't able to do? What would be your counsel for her when she's the prosecutor?
Well, she needs to stay focused on what those three things are, and not, I mean, if she needles him and if he gets, Trumpy, obviously way Trumpy, that's like a whipped cream and cherry on the sundae. But the ice cream is really the three things I talked about. And if she gets distracted by trying to needle him, I think she might lose that thread. And he's going to get rattled just because she's going to be good. I mean, she's going to be able, and I think she'll be very dismissive of him. I mean, she should just, even if she did that, come on, stop.